All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm here at S&S Precision in Denton, Texas. I'm here with Mike, and we're fixing to do my 308 build. You know, I've had several rifles put together here. I've had a lot of work done here over the years. Nothing but great success. The 24-inch 6.5 Creedmoor that's in the NBT camo chassis. That rifle was built right here. I've been wanting to get another bolt gun done, and I wanted to do 308. You guys see me running the ARs a lot. I love shooting off the AR platform, but with the way the ammo crisis is going right now, I need to be slowing down my ammo usage, and a good way to do that is just going nothing but bolt gun. I got the 6.5 Creedmoor, the LRI as well, but I just don't have that bolt gun that I really want to hunt with all the time, and I think 308 is just a good cartridge for me, for what I'm doing, and the amount of ammo that I have. I think 308 is just the best route to go. I told you guys I wanted to show you this build going, you know, the build process here. The stock, we're going to keep it with the Grayboe. The Grayboe has always been kind of a stock that's been laying around that I've been using. The LRI 6.5 is going to go back in its manners. We're going to do Arca Swiss on the bottom. And so that Arca Swiss is also being done here as well. But this is going to be a 16.5 inch 308 proof barrel. We're going to do ARC Neculus Action, American Rifle Company, Neculus Action, 30 cal 308. And I'm going to show you guys where it starts and how it ends, all right? You know, personal preference for everybody. I know a lot of people are going to go back and forth between this bolt gun and AR thing, and I really don't think there's even a dispute there, but I just want to get behind the bolt guns again, and I want to get behind a good quality bolt gun. So let's get this build going. I'm going to show you guys the process. I'm going to ask questions just like you guys would ask questions if you come into the shop. We're not going to do a bunch of editing here, you know, and music playing. We're going to keep it 100. We're going to keep it real. And I want to show you guys exactly how this goes down. Mike, can you tell everybody what we have here? What is this, a lathe?
Yes, this is a South Bend Heavy 10. It is geared up and fitted for gunsmithing. And they've been around forever, so they're pretty good machines.
Awesome. So the barrel is in here right now, correct?
Yes, it's in our chuck jaws here.
Okay, and can you tell folks exactly what we're fixing to do right here?
So we are going to shave it and rough the tenon in, and then we're going to pre-drill it for the chambering, and then find the center to where the free bore is going to be, not at the end of the barrel, up in there where the chamber is going to be.
Awesome. Let's get it started.
So let's set our 0 on our turrets here. 675 is where we're going. We already got our marks on the cutter, so we know where to stop.
Guys, I'm just trying to keep this video as authentic as possible. Again, we're not trying to get it all fancy with the editing and everything. I have a bunch of questions as well. I've seen him do this before, but I know a lot of people, they really don't get to see this much, you know. What are we fixing to do now?
We are going to find the center of the barrel to the free bore at the end of the chamber, not at the end of the barrel, because obviously between that, the 308 case is what? Like 1.5 inches or 2 inches, whatever it is, up in the barrel. Okay. So we're going to find the center line to the up in the barrel.
Okay.
Not at the end.
All right. So you just mentioned that it was off pretty bad, and I can see it.
So that's the nice thing about this machine, is it's set up for the gun building part. We'll suck that right on out of there. To the 100,000ths. It's 4 places over, not just 3 like your regular calipers.
Wow. Mike's a shooter as well, guys. Mike, you do a bunch of competition bench shooting.
Yes, bench rest, NRL, PRS,
awesome.
rimfire, all of it.
And he's a hunter as well.
I'm a big hunter and varmint shooter. Probably more than that than the other two.
Mike loves to hunt, man. He loves to hunt and shoot, which is, I think, is a huge plus because he knows exactly what people want out of a rifle in the competitive side and on the hunting side.
She's still off on the contour, but that's why we trued her up. Which now look at it. So it's cutting on one side, but not the other side. So we basically repositioned everything again.
Okay.
Which is fine. That can still be off because we just did all the dialing in. So we don't care what the outside does now. It's all about when the bullet feeds in and goes to fire.
I trust you, man. I trust you.
So we're turning this down to 1055 and the length is 675. This is what we're trying to hit.
Somebody that's actually taller than me. I'm super excited. I'm like a little kid, man, because not everybody gets an opportunity to see a custom rifle being built from the beginning to the end. A lot of people don't see that. And if you guys don't know much about S&S, originally it was Stick, correct?
Yep, Stick.
Yeah, Stick was building all these guns. I remember the first time walking into S&S, I think it was in Argyle, right?
Yep, it was in Argyle.
Yeah, I walked in there and, man, I was intimidated, guys. I didn't know anything about bow guns. I didn't know exactly what I wanted done, but I knew I needed a stock bedded. And I just wanted to see what type of work they've done and the skill set there, you know. And when you walk in and you see what this man is building. The bench rest guns are just jaw-dropping. They're massive. They're incredible. And I knew I was at the right place, and I've been coming here ever since. I'm excited because I know for a fact I'm going to shoot a pig in the head with this bolt action this weekend. Mike is doing a test fit right now on the action with the barrel. So far, so good. Okay, how does it feel now?
She is pretty much snugged up, and that is what we want.
Yeah,
and then we seize it up, and then it's all gone because all the shoulders are hitting. That is where we want her to be.
Mike, what's the average time? What's the average turnaround on a custom build?
Custom build, as soon as we get all the parts in, you're looking at about 2 to 3 months. But that's as soon as we get all the parts in. So you got barrel weight, stock lead times, triggers, everything.
Yeah.
Everything is a lead time on that. So that, it's too hard for me to incorporate that into the build time for on my end.
Yeah.
Because mine's a set time frame. Once I get it in, let's say you waited for that Grayboe. Let's say you had a 6 month wait time on it. Well, when your Grayboe gets here in 6 months, I will start on your project and get everything else bumped back and start on it because I already had the barrel, had your action, everything else is done other than your stock.
Right.
So as soon as it gets here,
you ready to go?
we get her going. Make sure nothing broke or messed up. Perfect. Got 11 thousandths to cut out with the reamer. Put a little chamfer on the reamer.
So what we're fixing to do? We're fixing to chamber
We're
it now?
chambering it now.
Okay.
So we're going to switch over to our free floating reamer holder, as it has play. Obviously it will follow the bore line.
So right now, guys, he's doing a chamber check.
Which we got some play still, which is good. It's probably like 8 thousandths there. Nope. It's actually a lot less than that. It's closer to 3. So we can get the 4 out, so we're going to go up to 5, so you have about 1 to 2 thousandths of headspace.
Okay.
Which we want to be more on the minimum, because that's what you're wanting. You want the accuracy,
Right.
not maximum there. That's your go gauge.
Nice.
So we're perfect on that.
Good, good. So Mike was just explaining to me how tight of a feel it was. I mean, he's barely putting any effort onto that action and pretty much have a 90.
So we got a 90-degree surface on the action to the recoil lug to the barrel, which is what we want. So with just that little bit of pressure, it takes quite a bit to get her to pop off.
Wow.
So that's what we're wanting out of custom parts.
That's beautiful.
Feed ramp looking good, getting everything looking good. What ammo are you running through this?
Grind hard ammunition. My boy Austin out of Florida, he's been producing this ammo for quite some time. He has 115s. They were going about almost 3,000 feet per second, and he's got some 151s that he just released that are somewhere right around 2850, I believe.
The 151 should do
Oh,
pretty good
yeah,
in this.
yeah, yeah.
The 115 seem awfully light.
You know, I ran it out on my 18-inch, the AR-10. Did really good.
Did it?
Yeah, it did really good.
That's a 1 in 10 twist, is it not?
Yeah, it's a 1 in 10, but going the distance is where you're wanting to wait, you know?
It's going to drop off.
Right, got unstable. I had the same experience with the 122s and the 6.5. Same thing.
Oh, yeah.
As soon as we got past 800 yards, it was all low. I mean, like, it looked like we were playing basketball.
You're not, yeah.
I'm being serious.
If you are shooting nighttime, you're not shooting 800 yards.
Right,
so we're great for that.
right.
Huh.
So the 115s and the 151s, I can go either way and still be productive at night. But if I really want to do something during the day and actually stretch the legs on it, 151s all the way. So what you doing now, Mike?
We are sticking it in here to thread the barrel.
Thread the barrel, yeah.
Or the muzzle in.
And this is, believe it or not, guys, this is something that he does a lot because people want to get barrels threaded for suppressors, correct?
Yep, suppressors and muzzle devices. To lessen the recoil.
What was the point of that even being on there?
I really have not personally called, asked, or whichever, but I'm pretty sure it's just for their contouring and everything.
Okay.
I don't know exactly, probably would be something to call and check. And if you find out about that, let me know.
Man, or
Because
somebody might comment here on YouTube, but seriously,
I don't know what it is.
I was shocked to see that part fall off.
Yeah, it's a part that isn't needed. So basically it's the same thing what we did on the chamber end to find the freebore.
Okay.
We're doing it on the muzzle end. So now we're going to do it here because this is when the bullet's exiting. And then obviously it'll set the threads and the shoulder and everything.
Okay.
As you can see, there's a lot of play there.
There's a lot. I noticed that. I noticed a lot of movement, wobbling, slight wobble when you
When we were doing the chambering, yeah. It's just because when we started it, we'll suck all of it out because that's not even a major part of it.
You do a lot of proof barrels?
Do quite a few proofs, do quite a bit of all of them, to be honest.
Really? Whatever anybody can get right now,
It's
right?
whatever anybody gets and personal preference. As you can see how easy that one went in.
This is my first proof barrel, so I'm pretty excited.
Guessing this is 5/8 by 24 in France?
Yes, sir. 5/8 by
American thread?
Yes, sir. None of that BS I had in that other bolt gun.
It is mostly 5/8 by 24, so we're golden on that.
Other gun.
Yeah.
Oh, that's hitting me off.
Did they get that resolved? Or?
No, never even called to ask. I need to get that figured out. Gun's just sitting in the back of the safe, man. That makes no sense.
That's what most people do when they got problems.
Just sit it off to the side and deal with it later.
Deal with it later. I got a different gun. That was pretty surprising. The guy was real happy with it. He did one at 308 and a 6.5 Creedmoor. Just made some little bat-pack guns, 500 yard and in guns. And wherever he loaded or shot, or he loved it.
That's good.
I guess that really wouldn't be a, well, it was still a bolt gun, but it was, they got it on those new pistol chassis.
I can ask you a question about cuts like this. Does a lot of it go off of feel, or do you have a set guide here to stop at?
How sharp your cutter is and how much material and the rate of feed and everything. I've just done it so many times and I just know where I need to get to get my last cut.
Wow.
So just a lot of variables go in. Speeds and feeds is all what it is in a sharp cutter. We're not going to run it like a factory shop, run it until it breaks and then replace the cutter and the barrel that messed up. You spend quite a bit of money to get this proof barrel in time.
I was about to say.
And then for it to go until it breaks, which we could probably salvage it, but I'm not going to be doing that. That isn't going to help us here.
That did not take much.
No, it's really short.
Those are the threads.
Those are the threads going on. So it's 5/8 by 24, which obviously it's C. We're going down to 24, and those are the two gauges.
Wow.
Now I set my 0 here before I hit the shoulder, and then this is my gear worm that you can hit any of the divisibles to start it, and then I stop it. I start and stop it, and that's what I'm doing right here.
Guys, I'll get the camera around here on the other side so you can actually see this. This is what he was talking about with C24, correct?
Yep, for 24 threads per inch.
And the rest was jibber jabber for me. I get so many questions all the time about a lot of the rifles that I have, and they're curious if I built them, you know, like, man, I really want to build a gun like that, or where did you buy it? There's a big difference between what's going on here and what's going on at production plant. You know, there's we could say Remington, Savage, all those guys are doing it on a mass scale, you know, so it's very repetitive. I'm sure, you know, quality control is not at its greatest, but they still make great guns, you know, but guess what? That production gun is the same production gun my neighbor can have, a guy the street over, a guy in New York, a guy in California. We can all have the same exact gun. But when you have a shop like this, build your own gun, there's not another one like it. It's custom. It's custom built for you and what you wanted. Everything that I asked for is being done right here in front of my face.
And I was like, I'm going to bring back the rest of my guns. Because they are not wanting to deal with that part.
What we're talking about right now, guys, is shimming. I hate shimming brakes, muzzle brakes. I hate it. You guys are probably still laughing at that one video that I posted up with the muzzle brake that was upside down. But you know, when it comes to shimming, sometimes some muzzle devices they have to be timed correctly. And with certain suppressors, they recommend that your muzzle devices are timed. And so instead of fighting shims, we're just gonna time it right here with no shims. Your builds, Mike, are they, a lot of your customers, hunters, precision shooters, what do you feel like you see the most come through here?
Probably hunters first, and then target gun guys.
Okay.
Still guys, PRS.
Right. We hunt a lot here in Texas, guys.
I don't hunt and shoot a lot. Get another there.
And a lot of us do shoot on the side. I love plinking. I don't compete, but I do love the challenge of shooting. And it just sucks right now with the way things are going with ammunition. You know, I'm doing pretty good with ammo, but it's just not worth just plinking, you know? But I have a ton of brass saved up. All right, folks, we have the finished product here. I still got to drop it in my stock and get the trigger on here, but the barreled action is done here. We got S&S precision stamped on here, 308, 1 in 10 twist, 16.5 inch barrel. We got the muzzle brake. We got the arc Neculus action. I'm going to drop our trigger tech in here. The stock will be the Grayboe Ridgeback. You guys are very familiar with this because I run this on my LRI back and forth with the Manners. Mike is gonna get the Arca Swiss put on the Manor stock, and the LRI is gonna go back to where it belongs, and we're gonna drop this in the Grayboe. I'm gonna have my good friend down at Custom Gun Creations, Clint, do the Cerakote on the stock. So we're gonna change the color on this stock and get it to match up really well with this carbon barrel and black action. Pretty stoked about this. We're gonna get some more video up of me shooting this and hunting with it as well. So I'll keep you guys up to date with that.
What you doing there, David?
I'm sanding.
Sanding?
Sanding.
Getting it all prepped up
Yep.
for the Texas Killer? Should we do this up, brother?
Oh, that didn't last long.
And here she is. And I'll go through some of the specs real quick. We have a YHM resonator here, 16.5 inch proof barrel. We have the Grayboe Ridgeback stock, Cerakoted from Custom Gun Creations. We have a 10 round MDT mag. We have a Trigger Tech flat primary trigger. I think it's right around 10 ounces. We have the iRay RL42. This is a 4x optic here. It's a thermal. It's probably one of my favorite thermals, to be honest with you. They also offer a 640. That is a 50 millimeter 3x. And me personally, with it being on a bolt action rifle, I feel like the 42, I just feel like the 42 doesn't pick up the heat signature like the 50 does. So we got that 4x magnification and a 42 millimeter. It just, I don't get that heavy bloom at the bottom of the thermal. I know some people are talking about suppressor wraps. You guys see me running a lot of suppressor wraps on my suppressors, and I still see it. I still see it with the suppressor wrap. So with this setup the way it is right now, she's sitting high enough that I'm not picking up heat from the suppressor at all, but I'm still going to get this covered. Super stoked about this thing. The Extractor, I got to show you guys this. So let me get this focused here. This is the manual extractor right here. So whenever you pull this bolt back, it will sling brass. If I really get into it, I can sling brass almost 8 foot over to the right. If you just take your time, it'll just lob out. But I really rip into these guns sometimes, and just from what I've been seeing, it really slings some brass. It really does. We have the Vortex Radian tripod here. This tripod has been rock solid for me lately, and I've been running it a lot. Absolutely love it. We are running grind hard ammunition, 308, 151 grain. Austin was running 115s for a really long time, and just this year introduced the 151s. Some guys were complaining about stability out at distance, so they went up on the weight, and I really do like the 151s. But with the way I hunt close range. I prefer both of them, to be honest with you. But if you told me, hey, which one would you rather choose? I'll be honest with you, I'd rather choose the 115s. They travel a lot faster. And I'm not shooting out past 500 yards. It turned out, it's just turned out beautiful. I know some people are like, man, you should have painted the action in the barrel to match. And I disagree. I just wanted that raw finish, and I like the stainless right here, and I like the finish on the arc Neculus, so I just left that alone. And we got it stamped over here. S&S Precision 308. Super stoked, guys. Super stoked. This is going to be really fun. You guys are going to see a lot more video of this. Hopefully here in the next few videos that I post up, you're going to see some hunting with this rig. This is what I'm going to hunt with probably for the rest of the year. I'm going to go back and forth with the ARs, but this is going to be my main squeeze. And I know some guys in the comment section are going to go nuts and say, man, we want to see what this thing can do on paper. You're not going to see it right now. One, I don't have the day optic on here. I do have a day optic for it, but unfortunately I can't talk about it because it hasn't been released yet. So as soon as I get the green light on that day optic, we'll throw it on here and we'll get her on paper and show you guys what's up. Two, I like to break these barrels in. This is day 2 with this rig, and I like to have a little break-in period. And then I want to get this barrel fouled up so we can get things tightened up. But with the thermal, I'm impressed with what I'm seeing already. Everybody knows I like to sight in my thermals on the TA targets. And at 100 yards with the 2 bolts on the TA target, I always try to go for right in between the 2 bolts. And the first cold bore shot was right in between those 2 bolts. So I know it's going to do the job. Super excited about this. I'm not sure if I talked about it already, but the Remington 700s in the past, the action always hung up. I can run 10 rounds really clean, and in those 10 rounds, more than likely one of them is going to get hung up. I've done the magazine modifications. I've done all kinds of things, but it wasn't the mag. It was the actual bolt. And whenever you have that bolt at a certain angle, she'll get hung up. It had nothing to do with the ammunition. It was just the slop that we had inside the action. With this arc Neculus, with that 3 lug, they're guided. Each lug has a guide. It's true every single time. I'm not sure if you guys can hear it, but it's like a swoosh noise. It's so smooth, and I've never experienced anything like it because this is my first time behind a custom action, something better than your standard production rifled actions. This is absolutely amazing, and I know it's going to get better as I start to experiment with other actions in the future. It's going to happen. I already got the bug. But I'm super excited. Chet Dorman, I just want to say thank you for coming through on this action, man. I know it's not easy. It was really hard for me to get my hands on anything right now. Mike at S&S, thank you so much for getting this rig done. And Clint, thank you so much for getting the paint job done. This paint job's different, and I love it, and I absolutely love it, and I hope we continue to do some more paint jobs in the future. Guys, get used to seeing this rig. Get used to seeing this rig because this was the goal that I've been going after for a really long time. One, I'm going to be saving ammunition, and 2, I'm going to be a lot better shooter in the field. When I get behind those ARs, I'm not going to lie to you, I get sloppy. I know I got 29 rounds to go out of some of these rigs, you know, and I get really sloppy and I don't concentrate. Whenever I get behind a bolt action rifle, I concentrate and I become a better shooter. I'm super stoked about this, guys, and tonight, more than likely, I'm going to hunt with it. We'll get some footage with some hunts here really soon with this. We're going to be talking about the I-ray in the next video. I got a ton of I-ray footage that I've been working on. This is something that I've been working on for the last few weeks. And if you follow me on IG, you already got a sneak peek of what I'm talking about. I have been raising hell with these I-rays lately. The clarity, the ruggedness, the features, everything about it has been working out extremely well. We're going to be doing a video on this, and I'm going to tell you the pros, and I'm going to tell you the cons. Super excited about this entire setup, guys. It's coming. We also got to do video on the Vortex tripod. This is the Radian. I'm just very thankful for the folks that are on my YouTube channel that are patient and understand that I actually have a life outside of social media, and that's what's holding me up right now, trying to get a lot of this stuff done. But I'm going to get there, I promise. If you like what you see, please hit the like button, get the subs going, get the notifications going, and I will see you guys in the next video, hopefully with this rig.